So today we're going to be talking about how neglecting your dreams is creating a lack of money in your life, and also how to fix it. Do you feel as though no matter how much you work, you never seem to have enough money? You know, things were expensive as it was back in 2020, but now look at it. The idea that the average person will ever be able to afford their own home is just that, an idea. And it's no surprise really, after crisis, coupled with the monetary policies that ensure that the rate of inflation is always higher than the increase in our wages, we have fallen into a trap. And this trap was set for us a long time ago. And the intent of this trap is to keep you stuck. It's not designed for you to get wealthy. It's designed to keep you in a job, just over broke. So let's work it out. If the annual inflation rate is 5% year on year, let's say, right? You, however, only get a 2% pay rise each year. That's if you're lucky, of course. Then each year, this means that your expenses are increasing and your wages are not keeping up with that. And hey, it might not sound like a lot, but the problem is that percentages compound. And this means that with every year that passes, this gap gets bigger and bigger. And this means that each year, the gap between what prices actually are and how much you can actually afford becomes even greater than it was the year before. So your buying power reduces. And of course, this is what they've coined the cost of living crisis, which to the layman, it means that things have just become more expensive and most are struggling to make ends meet. But to the powers that shouldn't be, it means we're robbing you blind and you don't even know about it. They call inflation the silent tax for a reason. It's insidious by design. Nothing happens as your disposable income is slowly chipped away, and then all of a sudden it all happens at once, all out of nowhere. And that shitstorm that was 2020 further magnified this problem due to the careless printing of money to help stimulate the economy. It actually makes me laugh. You know, these people that make these decisions on our monetary and fiscal policies, they're highly educated. You think that they don't know what causes inflation? In case you don't know what it is, it's printing money. Nothing more, nothing less. The expansion of the money supply makes inflation. But you know, they'll get on TV and they'll tell you, oh, it's the pandemic. They'll tell you that it's the wars. But what it really is, and what it can only be, is this, what I just said. Increasing the money supply, aka printing money out of thin air. They know this, and they know that you don't know this. And that's why they get away with it. You see, the system is in place to keep you broke, all by design, and the door is closing. The imaginary financial door is closing, and for many, it has already closed. For those who know what's going on, and for those who are wise enough to actually take action every single day to manifest a life of abundance rather than one of scarcity, they will be fine. If you don't feel like you're one of these people, let's fix that. So as I mentioned, the door is closed for many already, but this door that I speak of is only one that they've closed themselves. Yes, the walls are definitely closing in, but this doesn't mean that you have to be trapped. You do have a chance to escape, but many have just plain and simple, given up. And there's two truths that you need to hear. The first truth is this: inflation is always going to go up. This is by design. And the second truth is your job is never going to keep up with that inflation. Therefore, if you want to get out, what do you think you must do? If you think that exchanging your time for money is the way out, well then it's going to keep you limited forever. There is only so many hours in the day, right? So how many of those can you exchange for money after all? So if it isn't about selling your time for money, what must you do? You must figure out how to make more money doing something other than trading your time for money, right? Would you be surprised to hear that your dreams and how much money you make are actually linked? It's actually quite simple. If you dream big, you will receive big money, right? If you dream small, well then you're not going to have much money, are you? There is a direct correlation between what your dreams are for life and how much money you will ever earn. The limit to how much money we earn is entirely up to you. Most people have limited themselves to average because they value themselves no better than average. And it's sad and it's not obviously true, but this is how we've been programmed to think. Work it out. If most people earn the average wage in the UK, that means that the vast majority of people are average, right? So, or at least that's how they view themselves. So if you're average, what are you? You're just like everyone else. Why would money come to you in vast amounts when there are literally millions of people all capable of acting, working, and thinking like you? One of my life rules is that if the majority are doing it, usually I'm doing the opposite. And, so far that has worked out great for me. So I reckon I'll continue doing that until I'm proven otherwise. Sheep get slaughtered in this game. You need to realize that in order to win, you must become a shepherd. And the key is to dream even bigger than you've ever dreamed before. So for example, if you want to manifest more money into your life, you need to dream bigger. Where you are right now is exactly where you have chosen to be. If you don't like it, guess what? It's your fault. The amount of times I've heard people over the years say to me that they hate their job, but when you ask them if they're going to leave, they say one day, or they just look at you blankly. Almost as though it's a strange thing to ask a person that's just told you that they hate their job. Why do people hate their job but hardly ever leave? Easy. No direction, no ambition, no courage, no desire, no dreams. Whether they had these traits before working, only they know. But the reality is that if you get sucked into the wrong job, you may just stay there for life. Because that's the sinister thing about work. Work has a very peculiar way of enticing you to let go of all of your dreams and ambitions in exchange for money. So you can just be molded into the work-life culture, right? What happens is you'd rather be seen as a good employee rather than someone who trusts themselves to make money off of their own backs. If you want to make more money than you have ever before, this is the first step. Dream bigger. Almost every dream you could possibly have involves the need for money, right? So therefore, the bigger you dream, the bigger the money will be too. Dreaming small will only keep you small, whereas dreaming big will do the opposite. What are your dreams? Maybe it's time that you wrote them down. Of course, the average person dreams small, or even worse, they don't dream at all. We go through school and then life happens, and on the way, all this teaches us is to doubt ourselves. It teaches us not to believe in ourselves. It teaches us to believe that we are unworthy, and what happens? We forget all about our dreams. When really what we should be doing is using trial and error to figure out which dreams are really meant for us and which ones aren't. This is the problem that most people face. Just because you have a dream doesn't mean that it's meant for you. I can't tell you how many times I've changed what I've wanted to do, which is entirely fine, by the way. The problem is that the only way that you'll ever know if it's something that you really want to do is by what? It's by doing it. Does that make sense? And, just my personal opinion, but I find life 1,000,000 gajillion times more enjoyable when I have something that I'm working towards. And, just so I'm not just throwing words at you, I want to give you an example of dreaming bigger. And just so we're on the same page, I want to give you an example of how you can dream bigger. And here's an example of what I mean so you can understand how it works and that it can be done quite easily. If you want to manifest more wealth into your life, you must decide what you want and take inspired action to go after it each and every day. And here's how I did it. Years ago now, I decided that I wanted to go traveling for 12 months. I worked out that I wanted to make as much money as possible. So I figured out that I wanted to save up around £1,000 a month. So 12k in total, right? What I did is I decided the date that I wanted to go, which was Boxing Day 2015. And I got at it. I was only 19 when I made this decision. I had never seen £1,000 in my bank account before, let alone £12,000, probably not even 500. That didn't matter though. I knew exactly what I wanted and I wasn't too focused on the amount. What I was focused on was the result. So what I did is I spent the next 3 years working, saving and sacrificing so that I made sure that I would have the money. And I did this all while studying at university and only working part-time on the weekends, may I add. Whenever I forget how powerful I am, I just remember how I did this. The point of the story is to show you that dreams do come true, but not in the fairy tale manner that we're told. They come true only if you decide that it's true and if you make it happen. There is no other way. This is what manifestation is, not sitting around waiting and hoping for your life to change. So Let's break down what I did. I had a dream. I chose when I wanted the dream to come true. I chose what I'd need to make the dream come true. I figured out what I'd need to make the dream come true. And then what I did next is I took action on this every single day until it happened. So now let's turn it into a simple framework for you to use. So here it is. Firstly, choose a dream. Choose when you want this dream to come true, and of course, make it realistic. Then you're going to figure out what's missing in order to make this dream come true. You're going to figure out what you need to do to make the dream come true, and then you're going to make an action plan. Do this daily that will move you closer to your dream coming true. So there you have it. It sounds simple because it is. Not only have I just given you a little insight into how you can manifest more money into your life, you also have a proven framework to use. So now what's your excuse? Just do it. Not a sponsored ad. If you want to win at life, you need to become a dream chaser. So the bigger you dream, the bigger your life will be. The more you go after, the more you'll have. The more you grow, the more you'll become better. Most people have given up this path. I call it life. If you're not constantly striving to better yourself and in turn better your life, all you're doing is dying a slow and painful death. There are literally people in their 40s and their 50s who have been ignoring their bullshit for so long that they wake up one day and they have a mental breakdown. And this is what they call a midlife crisis. They wake up one day and realize that the life that they've been living is a lie. They haven't achieved much, or if they have, it's only because they thought it was what it was expected of them. They hate their job that they've gone their whole life at because they're too coward to go after their dreams, and they're not even happy in their relationship because they told themselves that they love their partner rather than actually loving them. When you live a life like this, one day you'll wake up and it's not the route that you have to go down. You can prevent this from ever happening simply by being true to yourself. And that means forgetting what others might think of you. That means letting go of societal expectations. It means going deep within yourself and asking, what do I want from life? I really hope that you know and that you're going after it relentlessly. If not, like many others, the midlife crisis may be something that is in your future, but I'm sure you don't want that, do you? So let's get on to manifesting your dream life, shall we? Newsflash, miracles do happen, but not in the way we expect. A miracle is getting that thing or having that experience that you really wanted but didn't hold on to. You asked for it, but you didn't expect it. Despite accepting that it might not happen, you still carried on doing whatever else you could. This is when miracles happen, because we are co-creators on this earth. Whatever you desire will be yours, only if you take intentional action towards it. Honestly, you need to understand that every day that you wake up is simply a miracle alone. Therefore, just by waking up, you are already blessed. Anything after that is just magical. So if you want to avoid living a life of scarcity, bitterness, and regret, it really isn't hard. You must simply sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you really want? And once you've figured that out, which usually is the hardest part, break it down and figure out what you can do on a daily basis to work towards this dream coming true. Follow your dreams and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. Once you start moving, things are certain to start appearing in your life. Miracles, that is. Understand that you are the miracle. Just being here in this moment is a miracle. What have you really got to lose if you go after it? Nothing. But you have everything to gain. More money than you know what to do with. More freedom to do the things that you actually want to do. More joy in your life, more time to spend it with who you'd like, when you'd like, rather than doing work that actually isn't fulfilling. More holidays and better luxuries, and don't forget better food as well. The list goes on. It doesn't sound that bad, does it? But maybe that's the problem. You have no need to be scared. You are worthy of the life that you dream about. You are worthy of having it all. You are worthy of wealth and abundance. You are worthy. Accept it, don't question it, and change your life for the better. You might not have much to lose, but hey, your life really is at stake here. I know what I do. Keep growing, keep shining, keep learning, keep pushing yourself, keep getting up when you get knocked down, keep smiling, and keep loving. Keep being you. If you want everything you've ever wanted, it isn't about dreaming more. It's about making your dreams come true.